A strong image can go a long way. There are a few places that we can get images that we can use free of charge. In some cases we provide credit to the photographer, and in some cases we don't. One of the best is Flickr. Flickr is mostly professional photographers or people who are very interested in photography, good photography. And they are willing, a lot of them, to let anyone use their photos and to edit their photos. So you can do a search on Flickr and bring up images, then you'll go to the license. You do not want any license because it includes photographs that are copyright. You go to Creative Commons only. Now all of the images that will be brought up you can use and you can edit to use. So selecting an image, we will download it. What size do you need? Well, if you're going to crop this image, you may want the biggest size. But if you're not, around 1,000 is a good size, more than large enough. All images must be around 500, 600 pixels wide and around 300 pixels tall. They cannot be smaller because they will become very grainy when they're used as a header. So that's downloading. Now what I often like to do is copy the name, and either I'll paste that directly into an article underneath the byline. I'll show you that later. Or if I'm going to use this image later, I'll just rename it with his name. Another source of images is Google. What images can you use on Google? You can use most of them. But images you can't use will have a copyright. Now look at this great image. For one thing, we may not want to use it because it does include the face of a child. But this is a great image. It gives you some kind of feeling when you see it. But if we save this image, and then we check the properties for it and go to details, we can see that this is a copyright image. So we would not use this. Most images, however, are not copyright. If someone comes to us later and says, hey, that's our image, if they want us to give credit to them, we'll be more than happy to do that. If they want us to remove it, we'll just replace it. It's nothing to replace an image, but I've never seen that happen. This image is fine to use. There's no copyright on it. Some things to consider. The image is, in some cases, the face of your article, but not usually. In general, the face of your article is your headline. But even still, a clever image does go a long way in some cases. By reading the title and knowing what the article is about, you can see whether an article is suited or fitting or even clever. In some cases, just a strong image itself is enough, and it doesn't even have to represent the story as long as it's related. For example, once you get to this point and a reader is just reading the article, the image doesn't mean anything to them any longer. In some cases, you may want to edit the image yourself, like we've done here by taking a black and white etching, I think it is, by Bruegel, and coloring it. how is an image, or how can an image be the face? Well, if you look at an article posted to Facebook, you can see how a strong image might help people to notice and to read your article. Faces are very strong as far as studies that have been done on what images work go. But in general, a more dramatic image is stronger. Again, on Twitter, if you post with your image, an image can go a long way to having people retweet or favorite your article.